You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. Fresh off a performance with Manitoba Underground Opera, tenor Kyle Briscoe presents a solo recital, Requiescat, Rebirth at Young United Church. To hear more, I'm joined by Kyle in the studio. Hello, welcome back, Kyle.
Hi.
How was my Latin pronunciation there? Requiescat?
That's pretty good, actually. I'm glad that you said it first.
Well, I spent all morning practicing. So let's get to it. How does rebirth and transformation work into this program that you're presenting?
So obviously I've moved away. I'm now based in Montreal. I'm starting my master's degree at McGill, and it's brought on a lot of change in my life. And a lot of the repertoire that I've chosen, I've connected to in that way about being born again, entering a new chapter. So I wanted to, I guess, share that journey that I've had this year with everyone at home, considering that they wouldn't otherwise be in Montreal.
Can you talk more about making that move? I mean, pursuing master's degrees in Montreal and then returning back home. Does it feel different coming back to Winnipeg as a prairie boy yourself?
Okay, that's a really great question because I always ask myself this. I've been back twice already since I've moved away, and it feels like I never left. Like everything's so familiar, but I don't know. I definitely have a home in Montreal now, and I have like a community that supports me there, which is great. But the difference is I can't go walking around Montreal and pointing out corners and saying, "Oh yeah, when I was 7, my ice cream fell over there," or like I skipped a rock 5 times in that river,
Yeah.
There's just that sense of home that I can't replicate anywhere else,
There is something so special about coming home, and it's also wonderful to have your family there supporting you and welcoming all of these other folks to come and hear you and where you're at in your journey right now. So can we talk more about the classical side of things? Because this is music that comes from, as I understand it, your first year of study, right? So who are we going to hear? What have you been studying since we last spoke, Kyle?
Oh boy. Okay. So like all of my favorite composers, which I'm grateful for. In my undergrad, I looked at some of these folks, but I really took the liberty of my master's to dig into each of them individually. So I spent a lot of time studying Brahms in the fall, and then in the spring I studied Chausson. So you'll hear those 2 composers on the first half of the program, namely Chausson's Opus 2, Le Temps des Lilas, which is one of my all-time favorite songs, and then some Brahms hits such as Dein blaues Auge, Verzagen will be on the program. And then the second half, I'll be singing some Tosti songs, like the one that you'll hear me sing. And as well, I'm going to perform a cantata composed by Adolphus Hailstork.
Great American writer.
Yeah, he is incredible. Like the way that he is able to convey like the depth of our soul in music is unmatched. Like it was one of the most cathartic performing experiences I've had, honestly, because of how deep it goes. It really touches on, it touches on the depths of our pain and how we can rise above it and find life's greatest joys. And then I'm going to be singing some Matthew Emery, his famous
Canadian
3
composer.
songs.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that. I haven't performed those yet, so that'll be new to this program. And I will do those in September at McGill. And I think that does it for all the classical stuff on the program.
You're really running the gamut. Like it just feels like solid recital rep, not just in terms of the repertoire that you're presenting, but also the languages too, right? I mean, you're showcasing the Italian, you're showcasing the German, you're showcasing the English and some French in there as well. I mean, it's just like a fully crafted recital program, but paired with it comes some of your own music. I mean, you're clearly a classically trained singer. We've talked a lot about that. But one thing that we haven't chatted about, at least here on Winnipeg's Classic 107, is your sort of double life as a pop singer. You released your first EP back in 2023, Lessons, plus a few singles since.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk more about your pop writing and perhaps how it's maybe influenced by your classical training?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm really grateful that I have a foot in both doors because they both inform each other. I think pop really allowed me to connect to myself and to my story and how I wanted to refine myself as an artist in terms of how I present my emotions and my experiences. Whereas classical has been a bit of a different journey. It's been about developing my voice into a beautiful instrument. It's been about crafting a technique that allows the expression that I found in pop to carry through. And what I've been really grateful for this year, and in my short time in Montreal, is I've had an opportunity to explore both genres in performance, and I've found now that they've become married. Like now I sing my pop, and I feel I always have, but even more so with like core in my sound. I'm always singing with a supported technique, and in my classical music, I've been able to touch deep chords within myself and share my story through that brush in my palette, I guess.
I mean, maybe at first blush, these seem like very disparate forms, but it's very clear that they aren't, right? And they can very much inform one another. And one of the things you mentioned was, using pop as an outlet to showcase your own story. Do you find now that when you're seeking out repertoire on the classical side of things, you're looking for stuff that just more resonates deeply with you rather than perhaps adopting the emotion of the music that's required? Is that something that you're looking at now as you're programming things?
That's something I've actually been reflecting on recently. I felt for a while that it was my job to like share parts of myself, to be open and vulnerable in performing, and it still is. But I think I want to add a layer to that now as I'm growing, and that is to be a vessel for the music, for the audience. It's not about me; it's about sharing these stories and giving people escape, repose from their lives. And I want people to be able to see their own experiences through what I'm sharing with my voice. And if I'm able to accomplish that, then I'll be pretty happy.
I think the audience will be happy too, right? Because you can tell when a performer is totally invested in what they're doing and really showcasing their best and inviting you into the story and hearing more. And in terms of lifting people up, you're going to be doing all that and more with this recital because proceeds are going to two very important institutions. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be doing this recital for the Rainbow Harmony Project and the Rainbow Resource Center. I was really touched last year singing with the Rainbow Harmony Project in particular. Just the community that's built there is so wonderful. There's a range of ages. And it's, an activity that anyone can do. It's open to everyone to join. And I wish I had something like that growing up, and in a way, like singing with that choir kind of washed away the lack of that experience. And it was really healing for me. And now they have a youth choir, and that is a great way for young people to perhaps join the adult choir. And I just really want to give back to them and thank them, for that experience, and hope that I can replicate that for so many other people. Like I truly think it's a great way to, just have queer folks feel seen. Music connects us like nothing else. And the Rainbow Resource Center is an organization I'm extremely grateful for in terms of it educating me about LGBTQ history. They also offer a wide variety of services like counseling and support. And they're a champion in the community. They're always sharing events and are helping folks get involved as much as possible, especially around Pride season, which, again, is really important to me.
And we're right in the midst of it, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, this is just so exciting that you have special programming with proceeds going towards these two outstanding organizations. This is a recital that is supported by none other than Manitoba Opera, who are sort of presenting sponsors, and then the Women's Musical Club of Winnipeg serving as musician sponsor. Who's going to be joining you in the recital, Kyle?
I have with me here today Megan DeFrat, who I'm so excited to have. We've been working together for 3 or 4 years now. And I missed her a lot in Montreal. I have lots of great. Actually, I have a piano wife now, but maybe that's another interview. But no, truly, Megan is someone that I really love sharing the stage with, and it's like I'm up there with a friend. So I'm excited to have the opportunity to perform with her again.
So the concert happening, or recital happening Wednesday, May 29th at Young United Church, 7:30 p.m. Tickets through Eventbrite, though it is a pay-what-you-can concert, right, Kyle?
Yeah, absolutely. I want as many people to feel like they're welcome, so it's no pressure to attend in terms of if you can afford it or not, basically. And the money's all going to a great cause, so...
So why not be there? That's Wednesday, May 29th. More details at classic107.com under the events tab or kylebriscoe.ca, Briscoe.ca. Before you go, you mentioned Megan's here in studio. You already teased that you're going to be performing some Tosti. What are we going to hear?
So I'll be singing L'ultima canzone. I'm really excited about this. I think something I didn't mention is I'm going to perform some of my pop repertoire in the recital, and it will act as like a translation for the non-English repertoire. So L'ultima canzone means the last song. I've been in love before. We all have. And I wrote a song that I wanted this person to hear as the last word or the last moment we share together. And I actually sent it to him a few months after we went our separate ways. And yeah, that was a really full circle moment for me. And singing these Tosti songs, the text is very reminiscent of that experience. It's the last chance before your lover goes off and gets married. And I had my own L'ultima canzone, which I'll share. It's called Runaway, so the title's not the same. But anyways.
Well, again, some very thoughtful programming indeed, and really presenting yourself up on the stage and really crafting a wonderful program that's going to take listeners on a journey, right? And that's what it's all about. But before that, you're going to be performing here in the Classic 107 studio. While you set up, Kyle, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Simon. Thanks so much for having me.